Dear friends, yeah, great, I'm back. And it's Wednesday the 4th of September. I'll get to the point and start dribbling and drabbling as best I can. Right, okay. So this is the beginning, and it should start, like all beginnings should start, with enough love to fill all the holes and gaps that might occur if you need time to just think about what you're saying, or the meaning of what you're saying, you know. So you got to realize that you got to have that love. You got to have that love to start something new, and new beginnings are very useful to understand the middle and the end of the video as well as the beginning. Right. So I'll start at the beginning and make sure I've got this love. Yeah. Can we possibly understand that the human being is the only creature that can understand creation? And if so, why do we not realize that we actually contain that within us? Each of us, we actually have the ability to understand the love of creation. We do have that inside of us. So we have to ask the question, do we change ourselves, or do we do something else with ourselves? How do we get that love of understanding? How do we get that love of the understanding of creation? How do we understand it? We've got to change ourselves. We've got to find a way of doing that. We've got to find a way of seeing that we actually hold the key to creation. If we hold the key to it, we can realize that it is within our grasp. It's within our grasp, and it's actually not something we were not part of, you know. We were involved in creation, and that's why it's important that we understand that we need to look closer at ourselves, not change ourselves. We need to look closer at ourselves to see how we were involved in the act of creation. And that's very important, because that means we've been around a long time, you know. That means we've been around a very long time. And it means that you know, we are not, if we don't understand it, we are really saying to time, I've only been around 100 years. So what if time's been going on millions of years? So what if that's been going? Why don't we be the friend of time? Why don't we be the consciousness of time? Why don't we see that time has a consciousness, has a humanity to it? It has a face to it, all of its own, and that face is man. That face is mankind, and it's time. It's all of time. Time is there for looking at its face, you know. So we look at the face of time. We see we are getting on a bit, you know. We've been around a while, and time is getting on, you know. So we got to realise that we can actually use time, and we can say, well, time's been going on millions of years. What am I doing worried about my little life in 80 years? What am I worried about that for, you know, when time's been going on so long? So there we see the connection there with creation, and how we need to respect time, respect the time we have, respect the time of time, in order to make the most of it, you know. So every place, now I'll go on to something else now. Every place is lonely if we feel we do not relate to it, or cannot find love in it for ourselves, or our aspirations to be a better person. We can actually be in love with every place we don't know, and every person we don't know, simply by understanding who we are and where we are. So in other words, by knowing where you are, and how that relates to every other place in the world, in the universe, by realizing we're stardust, you know, this place is made out of stardust. Where I am right now is connected to the whole universe, because of the fact it's made out of the same stuff, you know, and the fact that we're made out of the same stuff as well, you know, and the fact that people as well are just the same as ourselves, They're just the same as ourselves, but they obviously come from different places, And we can actually feel their influence. We can feel the connection of places to our place. We can feel the influence of other places on our place. If we realise they're there, and if we realise we're not lonely in those places, if we can be at ease in our own place and completely at peace in our own place, we can see we are not lonely in any other place in the universe. We're not lonely there. We're not lonely in any place we can think of. Any place that exists, we can relate to it. Because of where we are now, we can actually be in that place. We can actually be in any place. So we can love everywhere. It's a question of loving it, really. Without love, we can't understand these things. Without love, we can't see that we can cure all loneliness. We can cure the loneliness of disconnection and belonging to things, belonging to people, belonging to a reason, belonging to a cause, belonging to a idea. We've still got that. And as soon as we understand that that loneliness is really the barrier to, it's really an illusion. Loneliness is an illusion. We kid ourselves that we're on our own, and we get lost. We get lost in trivia because of it. So we've got to see that every place is full of our love if we allow it to actually connect to where we are now. If we allow it to connect, yeah. So because everyone has the body of me as well, because everyone has the same body, I can laugh as everyone, I can walk as everyone, I can share everything about me with the world. I can share everything about me, because even the birds in the trees, because I do not have to worry about being left out of other people's visions or people's ideas of myself, because I can be the part that we both want me to be. I don't have to be on an ego trip. I don't have to be on I can be pure. I don't have to worry about all this ego rubbish. I don't have to worry about it. Even though obviously, to do a good job, to take a bit of credit for something good I do. But it's really, I don't like talking about the ego, because it shouldn't be a barrier. It shouldn't be a barrier. It shouldn't be a restriction for you. It's not meant to be that. It's meant to be something you create into something really good, and work with it as something beautiful about you. It's got to be turned into something beautiful about you. It shouldn't be discarded and ran away from. It shouldn't be hidden. It should be made into something beautiful and loved. So that's the ego. And that is really feeling that loneliness is really the barrier to controlling the ego. It's controlling the ego as well. It's all about the barrier which you have to seeing yourself. It's the ego which really runs away with itself and tries to make itself into a hero, which you don't really want. You don't really want. So we're very small, and we don't need to be. We can't be bigger than that if we don't know how to be big and small at the same time. We got to be the father and son. We've got to be both at the same time. We cannot be the father all the time. We cannot be the son all the time. We have to get a balance. We have to be the father and the son. Yeah. I think I've said enough. I've talked for ages. God almighty. Yeah, I think I've said enough. I'll leave it there and wish you a good... Oh, touching the mic. Sorry, I hope I didn't make a noise. Right, catch you later and see you on the next one. And it's now 22:43, 43 minutes past 10 in the evening on Wednesday, the 4th of September. Right, catch you later. Have a good one. Right, bye.